Welcome to the All Access Podcast from the experts at Tebis. Each episode, we'll talk about technology topics, trends, or solutions that manufacturers need to know in today's rapidly evolving times. Sit back, enjoy the discussion, and let us know what you think.
Hello, friends. Welcome again to another episode of the All Access Podcast here from beautiful Troy, Michigan at our office here at Tebis America. I am your host, Michael Thiessen, and this particular episode makes me incredibly excited to have two of our finest individuals from Tebis actually on. No, they're not in here in the studio here with me. They're actually been sent on a abroad mission to head over to Tebis, Germany, to the headquarters of Tebis in order to attend an open house event. Now, open houses, there's many of them out there. Many machine vendors, many software vendors are doing open houses. What's the benefit of doing these open houses? Well, I think in these next 20 minutes, Mr. John Kowalczyk and Mr. Mickey Gukian, who we're going to have on here on this very special episode, kind of explain to us what they have seen, what kind of they experience at this particular open house. Many of you guys could not attend to this particular event, but we want to find out why this open house, or why open houses from manufacturers on the machine side as well as the software side are so important, and why you need to get engaged at these particular open houses and technology events. So without further ado, I'm going to have a very warm welcome to our two guys that are not stranded over in Germany, but that are attending this particular event. So, John, Mickey, welcome to the All Access Podcast.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
We're very excited to be here, and thank you very much for organizing this podcast today.
Oh, wonderful. I thank you actually for being on there. I know you guys have lots of things to do at this particular open house, and I'm stealing you away for this half an hour from all the events and all the things that are going on, because I think having been there before at these open houses, I know how jam-packed the schedule is, and that every single minute you have the ability to learn more and more what's going on there. So give us a little bit of an insight, John.
Well, thanks again, Michael. We're over here at headquarters, Tebis AG over in Martinsried, Germany. The open house started yesterday. Fantastic turnout. Several hundred guests attended. The stages that are set up, the speakers at the event, the partners that are here. It's a great time to collaborate, have discussion with other customers, and get a better, deeper understanding also of what's coming in the future with Tebis.
Now, it's not just a Germany event. Yes, the headquarters of Tebis AG, as you said, is in Martinsried in Germany, but it's an event that draws individuals from all over the globe. Give the listeners some perspective of what are some of the other countries, or who have you met from some of the other countries that have attended and are representing their countries, or maybe even their customers that are coming over.
Of course, several from local here in Germany. Companies such as Ford and Volkswagen, also from afar, for example, from the UK, United Kingdom. We've met a nice gentleman from Land Rover. So yes, and other areas, regions of the world all come together here. So not only are we seeing and meeting up with partners, but also other colleagues from within Tebis itself.
Mickey, you're a sales expert here at Tebis America, and you've now been dispatched over to Germany, and you've met up with multiple other individuals from the other countries, our partners, our friends, and sister companies that are over there. Do all of them run into the same challenges that we're facing over here in terms of we hear from mold shops they can't find enough people to work their machines or their molds. They can't find talent. Have you had any chance to talk with some of our friends from around the world and see if the topics that we have over here is also a topic that is in other countries?
Oh, yes. We spoke quite a bit about it. Everyone has the same problem. In fact, that's what part of this open house was designed for and organized for, is the labor shortage and the direction Tebis is going because of that. So, yeah, I mean, it's a common problem all around the world. And it's funny because, we in America, we have the problem in the restaurants, and they're having the same problem here, even in the restaurants. So, I mean, if those places are struggling for people, the manufacturing industry is definitely going to be struggling too. So it was a common theme here.
No. You actually, you brought up the information, and John, I'm going to ask you this question there. Mickey said that one portion of this particular open house event that Tebis has is geared towards how to deal with the labor shortage. I mean, obviously, you don't have a bunch of operators hidden in the closet over at Tebis, but what does Mickey mean when he says a portion of this is geared of how to deal with the labor shortage?
Well, for starters, the theme here at the open house goes a little further. It's surrounding automation, digitalization, and skilled labor shortage. So with that said, the whole entire event was focused around this. So what's happening, we need more, in essence, lights out machining. So how do we get there? We must automate. We must find ways in this industry to do more with less. This is the way of the future. This is the way companies can be more successful going forward and save money. So this was the entire theme here today, and it was very impressive. For example, just a few clicks, the automation factor with safety with the automation and simplicity are all coming together here at this event. It's, as I mentioned, it's just pretty incredible.
Yeah, automating is an incredible task. We here at the podcast have been talking with numerous experts about what can we do with the labor shortage, how can we combat it, and it all comes back to the same topic, the same item. We got to automate. And I've been around for quite some years. Mickey, you've been around as well as John. And the first time that Tebis has introduced automation in their programming effectiveness, mold shops kind of looked at Tebis kind of like, are you guys off your rockers? All of our molds are different. You guys being at the heart and soul at Tebis, at the source, do you see people engaging and asking these questions, saying, okay, show me the automation. How can I get better? How can I get faster? How can I automate more? So it's not just this open house, a showing from Tebis of how they can automate. It's actually clients, customers that are willing to share their advances in technology and how they're utilizing the Tebis product in order to automate and what you said, get more done with less effort.
Yes, absolutely. And this comes back to the shortage of skilled labor. It's a serious problem, not only in Germany, America, Italy, UK. It's everywhere, worldwide. So the beauty of this is Tebis has recognized this for quite some time now and addressed it and structured the software around this.
Mm-hmm. Mickey, give our listeners a little bit of an idea of what automation means. Automation, when people think about it, they think of a robot doing all the automation, but really in terms of CAD/CAM programming, what does automating kind of entail? What have you seen that Tebis AG or even some of these customers that John had mentioned, how did they automate? What did they do that was so special?
Well, they took advantage of the software for one with creating templates and features, even going back to the challenge for the work pieces that we had customers bring in, and we had never seen the data before. On some of these parts, they had 6 of them yesterday. One was a mold similar to like the hood of a car, had 2D work on it. It was probably 4 feet by 4 feet in size, and that one took the longest. And roughing, doing all the 2D work, the finishing, the sides, the base work, that one took 60 minutes to program. That was the longest part. Then there were pieces, little complex 2D parts that took anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes to program. And that's a complete program. That's setting up in the virtual machine on whether it be a Vice or an FCS system, but it was completely automated. And we actually saw one of the customers brought a block here that was completely cut without a human at a machine. All they did was load the block on FCS systems and switch it into machine to machine. So the drilling, the 2D, even EDM work on this work piece, which was very impressive, the finish, everything looked spectacular, was run on machines without an operator there.
Wow. That's incredible what you said. This thing is called the Tebis Challenge. And the premonition is, and this is, I gotta take your word for it. It is not scripted. It is not an item that the guys at Tebis or the experts at Tebis have looked at previously and kind of figured out what to do with it. They brought theirs part in on a memory stick, correct?
Yes, and handed it to them right there.
And you said they had 1 hour. And in that 1 hour, they took that part in, plugged it in the computer, pulled it up in Tebis, and did everything in 1 hour?
Yep. And this part had some small detail in it too. So it wasn't just a flat part. There was some small detail in areas. There were, stop pad surfaces with mounting holes and work on the base, work on the sides. It was 60 minutes. That was the longest challenge part they had.
So you went and saw a mold of a hood, good size part, that normally, with your experience and your knowledge, Mickey, how long would you guesstimate them working on this, on getting this done?
Easily, it would have been about 6 or 7 hours.
It's important to understand there's been work put into the structure behind this. So Tebis developed the libraries and the templates and the existing geometry within in the system. So what you're doing is you're replacing one geometry with the customer's new geometry, their part file, and then utilizing the templates within the software. So this is really what helps automate this process and decrease the time.
Right. So this is a 2-day event, correct?
Yes, it is.
With, of course, some additional festivities going on in the afternoon. And it also surrounds the capabilities of the new version, 4.1. There's development going on nonstop at Tebis. Is there some new development that you guys have seen that 4.1 brings that we have not yet seen before?
Yes, there's actually quite a bit. So we actually saw 4.1 R4 and R5. So they're working on R4 and 5 already. There's going to be simultaneous re-roughing, full 5-axis, simultaneous 5-axis re-roughing with a ball cutter. So you'll be tipping the head automatically, going down corners, getting into slots, everything. And this is all done automatically. There's a new for engineering change type data. So if you have a job that you've programmed and before you even get it to the machine to do all the cutting and drilling, and you swap out the new data, all you do is you hit a reset, and it will automatically recalculate the tool paths that need to be recalculated. So you don't have to sit there and reprogram everything. It will automatically realize which programs need to be calculated and start recalculating them for you. So you're going to be much more efficient in programming time.
There's lots of development that's coming down the pipeline, so get ready and learn up of some of the new developments that 4.1 has brought up to the forefront already. Mickey, Tebis wouldn't be anything without our partners, of course. Give us an idea who is all there. Yes,
there's several. Renishaw was there. Zimmerman was there. Kolb, Polkum, Zoller was there. Akuma, Fuchs, Grobe. Several of them were there. We were able to speak with Kolb on the clay milling. They have a lot of nice stuff coming out, and their main source of programming is Tebis. All the clay models they cut in-house and what they're recommending is working great with us. So we had the opportunity to talk to them. Polkum has some very nice tooling coming out for all these roughing programs, high-speed roughing with 5-axis type modules and things like that. So all this was working out. Renishaw, they have a couple ways of doing it. So Renishaw can actually download directly into the control of the machine, and we can work with Renishaw that way. Or we can work with Renishaw by taking the digitized data on the machine for picking up points, and we can bring it back into the control, creating CMM reports and double-checking geometry, hole diameters, things like that. So there's a close collaboration with Renishaw. Zoller with the tool measuring system. That can all be automated too now. So that's another big part of the strategy. So all the tooling can be ready ahead of time. So when it goes into the machine, we already know the diameters, the lengths, the tool life of the tools. And that all works in tandem with our software. So
yeah, our partner is incredibly important, because it's not just that we're all helping each other out, but we're helping out the clients to provide them with new technology, with new ways of fixturing it, with new machines that can do way more than the machines that are just 10 years ago that were brought out. These machines are phenomenal nowadays, what can be done. Now, I promised to you both prior to this engagement that I'm going to keep you guys to only about 20 minutes, because there's lots of stuff going on at that particular open house. Any final thoughts, and maybe I'll start with you, John, of why this open house, or any open house for that matter, is so important for mold makers and die makers to attend these open houses in order to gain more insight. Any final thoughts on that from you?
Yes, Michael. These are very, very important, and I'm just so happy that we're finally getting to do these again. It's been a couple of years, as we know, but it's important to share this knowledge, share this information, inform customers, have people come in, get a better understanding, and see the vision of the future. This is another key point. So this particular open house right here, as we know, the theme was around this automation, the skilled trade shortage, and the digitalization. Well, for me, the huge takeaway, this one word, performance. So when I say performance, I'm referencing to automation in conjunction with speed, safety, and simplicity. And it's incredible. I have to mention this new version, which we haven't released yet to the customers. We have it in beta, and it was at all the stations here. And it's mind-blowing how fast whatever you run in the system, whether it's a toolpath, whether it's a virtual machine simulator, you name it, the speed is incredible. I'm shocked in a good way. So with that said, and add that with, as I mentioned, with safety is very important, and simplicity of using the software. This was perfectly executed at this open house.
Awesome. So watch out for 4.1 R4. the release for that's going to be coming out very soon. Mickey, for your first abroad Tebis event, what is your takeaway from this particular event? What are you bringing back here to the U.S. and to your customers specifically? What is it that you're bringing back?
First of all, meeting everybody, seeing how things work over here, how dedicated these people are to making the product better and better. That was great. I have a long history with programming and machining molds and plates, everything from drilling to roughing to 5-axis machining. And, I've been hearing about this automation coming, and, we've been getting bits and pieces of it at our office. But what I was actually able to see here, I couldn't believe it. I mean, when you can take a job and create the blank, create the programs, create the fixture it's going in or on, put it in the virtual machine and execute it and be done with all setups necessary. Your first setup for the base, your second setup for the top, whether you do the side work on the first or second setup is up to you. But to be able to do all that in most cases in an hour, maybe two at the most, depending on the job, it was incredible. I mean, I think it's going to be a huge game changer going forward here.
So your message would be to your clientele or to your prospects, automate as much as you can in order to not to steal the words from John, but to rephrase what he said is do more with less. And that is the key. So I promised you guys to release you back to the event so that you guys can learn more and more stuff and bring additional information home. I thank you both for attending and for being part of this very special episode about open houses. And I wish, of course, both of you a good and safe trip back here to the U.S. Make it here in one piece. Anything less than one piece is not acceptable.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
Thank you for having us. Like I said, this has been a great trip over here, and we look forward to wrapping up in the next day or so.
Excellent. Well, to all of you listeners out there, it's all about technology and highlighting in this particular event the Tebis software that we have so easily access to in order to provide you items and technology that otherwise you do not see. That was the idea of this particular episode, and bringing to you why open houses are so important. So please, if you have access to an open house or a technology day or anything like that, attend. If there's a conference going on, be part of that. Have a voice in order to find out how you can influence your market and your environment, and just partake in those open houses, because only then you are becoming better at what you're doing. You're becoming more efficient. You become more automated with higher degrees of safety, with less and less people, because I don't know where all these people went, but they're just not there. So with that said, I thank you all. If you have any questions or any topics that you want to have us cover in these particular episodes, please don't hesitate. Send them to marketing@tebisusa.com. Marketing@tebisusa.com is the address for you to get all of your information to us and give us your comments about the podcast. With that said, I thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining this episode of All Access. Please leave a comment or review with your feedback or what you'd like to hear in future episodes. To learn more about manufacturing technology solutions and Tebis's capabilities, visit our website at Tebis. That's TEBIS.com.